Israel claims to have found evidence Hamas was based at Al-Shifa hospital, but its military operation there has been condemned by the World Health Organization. In what she's calling the mother of all reforms, Italy's Giorgia Meloni is pushing for a constitutional change that would allow Italians to directly elect their prime ministers.
Thousands protest in Madrid as Spain's prime minister defended his controversial amnesty deal for Catalan separatists.
Is military equipment.
Israel continued its operations inside Gaza's Al-Shifa hospital for a second night as it published several videos claiming to show Hamas weapons and equipment found there. But criticism of the storming of the medical complex has grown. There have also been images of its troops taking in medical supplies and baby food. Israel insists it's conducted a targeted and precise operation against Hamas, which it accuses of using the hospital as a command center. Hamas denied the accusations.
יכול לתאר כבר פה שמצאנו מדים של פעילי חמאס שהושלחו ברצפת בית החולים על מנת שיאפשרו לאותם פעילים להימלט כנראה במתווה אזרחי.
The World Health Organization says a hospital shouldn't be considered a theater of war.
Israel's military incursion into Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza City is totally unacceptable. Hospitals are not battlegrounds. We're extremely worried for the safety of staff and patients.
A boost for Palestinian civilians with the first wartime delivery of fuel from outside Gaza. It crossed from Egypt into the southern Gaza Strip at the Rafah border crossing. And on the diplomatic front, there's been a breakthrough as the UN Security Council approves a resolution calling for humanitarian pauses and corridors in war-torn Gaza. It was at the fifth attempt after weeks of bitter negotiations.
She called it the mother of all reforms. Meloni's proposal to let voters directly choose Italy's prime minister is one of the government's most ambitious goals. The aim is to guarantee more stability in a nation where government's coalition lasts only months, even weeks. A few days ago, the cabinet already approved the proposal, but voters will likely have the final say in this. A referendum would take place if two-thirds of lawmakers fail to approve the reform. The first round of vote will take place in the Senate, although a date for the ballot has not yet been decided.
This could well be a bumpy road for Giorgia Meloni, leaving many question marks. It's too early to say whether or not she'll be able to count on a solid majority and avoid the referendum. And what could happen should she lose this battle? Former Prime Minister Matteo Renzi went down a similar path almost a decade ago, and his referendum on a package of constitutional reforms was voted down, resulting in his sudden resignation.
Il percorso che si trova davanti la Presidente Meloni non è facile. Per quale motivo? Perché le reazioni che ci sono state alla presentazione del DDL non sono state di grande entusiasmo, di grande favore, non solo da parte di chi si oppone per mestiere, diciamo, ma anche da parte di esponenti del centro e di qualcuno del centrodestra. Dobbiamo mettere in cantiere almeno 18 mesi di discussioni intorno a questo testo.
According to the latest polls, the majority of Italians seems to agree on the proposed change. And if the reform is approved, this would represent a great success for Meloni.
Il successo della riforma rappresenterebbe sicuramente, oltre che il rafforzamento della posizione di potere della Presidente, un segnale per l'Europa, per il mondo, sull'Italia, un'Italia che chiede stabilità dei governi, ecco, questo sicuramente.
The direct election of Italy's prime minister would require an overhaul of the current electoral system to avoid last-minute surprises. Meloni's priority is to set a new record and succeed where others have failed, making it easier for national leaders to accomplish their goals. Giorgia Orlandi for Euronews in Rome.
The port of Schengen, 75 kilometres from Tirana. It's one of the sites that could be used for new refugee centres for migrants relocated from Italy if the proposed agreement between Rome and Tirana is completed. Many people in the town disagree with Prime Minister Edi Rama's decision because it was taken without any public input.
Do sjell probleme, Shëngjini, sidomos Shëngjini nuk është një destinacion I përshtatshëm për të pritur emigranta, është një destinacion turistik I cili duhet të shfrytëzohet dhe të mirë menaxhohet për turizëm.
Mos jam absolutisht dakord me kryeministrin, as me Giorgia Meloni, ndihmoj Giorgia Meloni atje.
Me thonë atje dhe Rams, shohen e ka jugu mos e bjerto, se ka siti për ban, mos e turizmin të na.
In Shengjin, there are also inhabitants who are in favour of the idea because they think solidarity brings opportunities.
Shkëlqyshëm fare shqyr që është marrë këtë iniciativë dhe I bien afganët janë popull shumë
Afrikanë, do jenë afrikanë.
Janë popull shumë I urtë. Edhe bien edhe kulturën e vet, edhe për ne bëhet shumë mirë se shtohet puna.
People in the town say their objections aren't based on xenophobia. Their main concern is the presence of refugee centres could tarnish its reputation as a tourist destination.
Spain's controversial amnesty agreement for Catalonia's separatists sparked protests in Madrid as the country's acting Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez defended his deal in Parliament. Sánchez has tied up support of 6 smaller parties to ensure that he can re-establish his minority coalition government with the left-wing Sumar party, but has also signed up 2 Catalan separatist parties after promising an amnesty for those who broke the law during the region's failed 2017 succession attempt.
La ley de amnistía es totalmente inconstitucional, por lo tanto no se puede tramitar y gran parte de estas manifestaciones es en contra, sobre todo de esta ley de amnistía que pretende perdonar a todos los que rompieron por la unidad de España.
Se está traicionando a todo el pueblo español, pactando con delincuentes. Entonces esto no debe salir adelante de ninguna manera. Sería poner al pueblo español de rodillas todo ante los delincuentes.
Inside Parliament, the atmosphere was no less confrontational. Spain's opposition, conservative and far-right parties accused Sanchez of betraying the nation for granting the amnesty just to hold on to power, while Spain's judges argue it's an intrusion of the legislative branch into the separation of powers. The European Union is also reviewing the proposal.
Le Beaujolais Nouveau est arrivé.
Corks are pulled and glasses filled to celebrate the season's new wine in the Beaujolais region north of Lyon. Beaujolais Nouveau has been around since 1951, with the first bottles opened at an exact time since 1985.
J'ai goûté le Beaujolais, il est très bon. Vraiment un petit goût, comme on dit, de banane comme chaque année, mais vraiment il est très bon cette année.
Throughout the day, bars, wine cellars, cafes and restaurants organise events around the tasting of this new wine, the Beaujolais Nouveau 2023.
Have any unique talents and a burning desire to break a Guinness World Record? Well, today is your day then, as all over the globe people are making their mark on history by participating in Guinness World Record Day. Like Paul Swift, who broke the record for the tightest gap driven through by a pickup truck on 2 wheels.
Officially amazing, so thank you on Guinness World Records Day. Guinness World Records Day is a global celebration of the superlative. It's a chance for you to attempt a Guinness World Records title and maybe even make your way into the Guinness World Records book.
The records are oddly specific. This man in China broke the record for the most consecutive single-leg full twist back somersaults with 11 somersaults. While this pair in Japan did the most consecutive double Dutch-style handstand skips for a team of 2 with 32 skips. Thursday marks the 19th Guinness World Record Day, which started in 2004. And its theme called on people to show off their super skills, even if it's just with a pogo stick.
Great job. Appreciate it. Woo.
For the next month, more than 70 theaters across Europe will be showcasing films meant to highlight and celebrate the diversity of the continent's cinema. From Athens to Bucharest, in small towns and large film capitals, theaters are going to be hosting special events and presenting programs. One of the art venues taking part is the legendary Comoedia in Lyon.
Dans ce mois du cinéma européen que nous avons choisi de programmer chez nous, de participer à ce mois qui va fêter la diversité du cinéma européen, nous avons programmé plusieurs événements. Alors un événement jeune public par exemple autour du royaume de Kentucky parce que c'est très important pour nous de pouvoir montrer aussi des films d'animation jeune public européens. Et puis nous avons programmé le film Moi Capitaine de Matteo Garonne en avant-première.
Attention! Animated films, documentaries, and dramas are all on the big screen. One of the movies is Kensuka's Kingdom, a co-production between the UK and France. Its hero is 11-year-old Mikhail, who is shipwrecked on a deserted island that turns out not to be as lonely as he originally thought. The event is backed by Europa Cinemas, a network supporting European films all year round.
Le cinéma comédien adhère à Europa Cinéma, ça veut dire qu'on s'engage durant l'année à diffuser plus de 20% de films européens, donc non nationaux. Et donc c'est vraiment ce qu'on fait et on y tient parce que ça permet de proposer une grande diversité de cinéma à notre public, toujours dans l'idée de faire découvrir un cinéma qu'on n'a pas toujours sur les écrans.
Some 37 countries, 750 towns, and 1,200 cinemas are part of the group. Another film being shown is Me Captain, the story of two boys trying to get to Europe. Month of European Film runs until December 9th, marking the start of the European Film Awards.